What's up, and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today I'm going to be discussing Pixar's latest film, which just hit Disney+. It's called Luca. Luca is a coming-of-age tale about a couple of sea monsters that like to spend time on the land. You see, when dry, they look human, but when they're wet, they turn back into the monsters, and they decide to risk becoming discovered in order to win a marathon and get the ultimate prize, a Vespa. So, one thing that I've been seeing said about this film recently is the possibility that the words sea monster is essentially a metaphor or a euphemism for gay, and that the film as a whole is designed for the LGBTQ crowd, that one of the characters might even be gay because, a big part of the film is hiding who you are, afraid of how everybody will react if they found out that you're this quote-unquote monster. And I kind of get it, but I politely don't think that that's the case. I mean, even the director said that that's not the case. If you go back in Disney's history of making movies, hiding your true identity is not uncommon, not at all. Aladdin had to conceal the fact that he was a street rat under the guise of being a prince. Cinderella had to conceal her poverty under the guise of being a princess. Elsa had to conceal her power under the guise of a false sense of normalcy because she too was too afraid of how the world would react. Both Rapunzel and Quasimodo were imprisoned away from the world, and they both want to experience one day away from their confinement. I mean, if you're going to call Luca LGBTQ, you might as well call Pinocchio a transgendered character who felt like he was something other than how he was born, as he goes on a journey to change his gender into a real boy. Luca is not a LGBTQ film, unfortunately. It's simply a broadly scoped film about finding and accepting yourself, just like Disney typically does. At the end of the day, it's simply coming of age. As a coming of age film, it's not bad at all. It's definitely charming and sweet, and a pretty good look at friendship alongside the elements of finding yourself. It's nothing crazy, though. It's not the best I've seen from Pixar, nor is it the worst. It's somewhere mid-range for me. Personally, I felt plot-wise it probably would have made more sense as one of those Pixar shorts that are like 10 minutes or whatever, since the point of the film is easily understood without needing to stretch things out for like a Vespa race or whatever. As far as the target audience is concerned, I felt like they were aiming for a slightly younger crowd than with, like, Onward. I would say somewhere between The Good Dinosaur and Onward, as far as age range goes. So, as a 33-year-old, I was clearly not the intended audience, but I still appreciated what they were going for, and of course, with Pixar, you're gonna be looking at art. The visuals and the animation were, as always, pretty great, and the Italian culture was a really nice inclusion as well. Let's go ahead and break down my final score from a purely technical level. I mean, you can't just ignore the fact that this film was well put together, great visuals, animation, graphics, and a deeply meaningful story that people are clearly getting different takeaways from, which is not bad at all. This score is 80% from a purely biased perspective, or just what I thought about the movie. As I said, it's cute. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing eye-opening, at least not for me, as I was not the intended audience. But it was cute. That being said, I don't automatically have this desire to see it again, at least not right away. So this score is 68%, and when we average everything out together, we come to the final rating of 74%. 74 out of 100 possible stars, or a B- letter grade. Have you guys seen Luca? What are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments section down below. And as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come up with the next review. And until then, peace out.
Dave examines movies we just watch for fun. Davey is the expert. He is the #1 critic that I go to when I need a movie pick. Thanks for joining up with us.